Also, church.
What was that? You're lagging pretty bad. We can't hear much.
Okay, hold up.
All right, here there we hear you better now.
Hello.
Oh, there you, sorry, you were lagging pretty hard there. All right, we can hear
Yeah,
you
you're.
now.
Yeah, I can hear you, but your camera's froze up.
Oh, it is? Yeah, let
Yes.
me see. Um, hold on. Yeah. Can you see us now?
Yeah, I can see you now.
All right,
So,
perfect.
ladies and gentlemen, tonight's racing show is sponsored by Churchill Photography and ReviewFamily.com. Also, tonight on the Josh Long Full Throttle Racing Show, hashtag one on YouTube, we have with us Laney and Logan Moore. Welcome to the show, guys.
Heck yeah. All right.
So, let's talk about your racing careers. Where did it all start for you guys?
It started when we were 4 years old. We started racing four wheelers on like flat track, like dirt flat track on oval and TT, and that's where it started. And we've been racing the quad since we were four, like I said. And so uh, uh, in like 2020, we started running a lot of national series races with the MWEDT series, national TT series, and running a running a lot of races there and winning a bunch, running, and then we moved up to sprint cars. In 2024 was our first season, and we raced about 10 races that year, and then this past year we raced a lot more and ended up racing 33 nights last season.
Okay, so how much success have you guys had as race car drivers?
Success, we've had a lot of success. We we both had multiple feature wins in the past race season. We were first and second in IMCA rookie national points. In 2025, we were running runners up in the IMCA national overall national points as well, and we've had quite the successful past year.
Okay, so Lenny and Logan, when you guys got behind the controls of your four wheelers and the sprint car for the first time, were you guys the least bit scared at all?
We've never been scared. We've always been excited and eager to put down good performance and do our best. We grew up around racing, so it's never really scared us. We've just always tried to do our best. Accidents
Okay,
happen.
all right, all right. With your racing careers, what has to be your most favorite victory of your racing careers?
That's a tough one because we got a lot, but I have to say my in the sprint car it was probably my first win, and I'd say he would probably say the same.
Yeah.
Um, but we've won quite a bit of championships on the in the four wheelers too, and those have been really exciting and great achievements as well.
Okay. When it comes to your racing careers, how did you guys come up with your racing numbers?
So our dad he's been racing since sprint cars since 2000, and he's always been number 69, and so when we were born he actually since we were twins he uh put one of us upside down and seen which one liked being upside down better. So he put me as number 9 and him as number 6. So
We split his number.
yep. So that's where we got our numbers from.
Okay. Who do you guys have for sponsors on your racing teams?
For our sponsors, we're really lucky to have our sponsors. Our main sponsor, and we really wouldn't be racing right now, is Chuck and Larry's Transmission. If he wasn't our sponsor, we definitely wouldn't be where we are today, and that's for sure. Mike Moore Motorsports is another one of our big sponsors. Recommended Collision Center, another great sponsor. Our Grandma Linda and Grandpa Jim, they provide a truck for us every weekend to go racing. So without them, we wouldn't be able to go up and down the road. Uh, then we also have Skills Excavating. They're great to us. Low Pros Mown Snow. Um, a couple other sponsors and people have helped us out in the past year or so would be like MWDT, the National TT Series we ran. And then we also got a couple other sponsors that just recently hopped on board, Berkey Motorsports.
Okay, what is your guys' home racetrack you race on?
So we don't really have a home racetrack with the sprint cars because we we race a lot with our Race Saver 305s. There's not too many places to race in Iowa. So we race a lot of the surrounding states, but this coming season we'll be starting 360s at Knoxville Raceway. So we'll be looking forward to calling that our home track.
Okay. Are you guys eventually going to race like Jackson Motorplex and Huset's?
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
we do right now.
We currently race there. Yep, we've raced quite a bit there last year, and both of them places had some great success. I think our last night out racing this season was at Jackson, and we were battling out for a second and third there for a while with like a 30 car field, and which was pretty exciting. And so yeah.
Okay. When you guys are strapped into your race cars, getting ready to go on the racetrack, what helps get you psyched up and motivated to go out and do this?
I'd have to say it's just uh, we have a lot of grit and we have a lot of people around us that give us good uh, teach us good dedication and hard work, and you just got to do your best. And
Our dad's a great mentor towards us, especially when we're racing them race cars. Helps us out, giving us a lot of tips and tricks and stuff. So we don't always stress, going out on the racetrack. We it's something we enjoy to do. So we try not to get too worked up about it. But sometimes when you're starting on the front row,
the adrenaline's pumping.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey, what are you guys' future goals as race car drivers?
Uh, Definitely getting into where we can probably race for a living, which it's definitely a lot to work towards, but so here for a while we'll definitely be racing a lot local, but hopefully we can get out and start traveling, pretty far and race a lot of cool places.
Out of all the racetracks you guys have raced in your career, what has to be your most favorite track you raced on?
For me, I'd have to say some fun tracks, places like I like Warren's track called Central Missouri Speedway in Warrensburg, Missouri. I also like Huset Speedway is pretty fun. Eagle Raceway, they're all pretty fun tracks. What about you?
I definitely think that US 36 and in Cameron, Missouri, is definitely one of my top picks. It's a crazy wild track and never a dull moment there. And then I like Jackson and Huset's as well. And you know, uh, everywhere we race, we really like.
Okay. So are you guys pretty good about reading the racetrack?
Yeah, we're pretty good. You got to go where the moisture is good, and you gotta if there's nothing there, you got to really run the throttle. And our dad's really helped us about teaching us, what's the best place to be on the track.
Keep it in the mud.
Yep, and got it, even if it's slick, you got to really find something or really make an effort to roller through the track. And
Okay.
Sometimes sometimes it might when you're out there on the racetrack you might not read it as soon as you can, so but most times if you look ahead and pay attention, just got to play it smart.
All right. Okay. So, are you guys presently looking for more sponsors?
Totally.
100%.
Yep, we're currently working on some stuff. We definitely got to build up our team, and keep advancing, uh collecting more sponsors, and because really without our sponsors like Chuck and Larry's Transmission, we really wouldn't be racing. And uh this coming season, planning on racing Knoxville in the 360s. It'd still be a dream, if we I mean, it is a dream, but it probably wouldn't come true this season if it wasn't for him. So
So, how does one get a hold of you guys to sponsor you guys?
we you could probably reach out on like social media on Facebook,
or our email at Laney Logan Moore Racing at gmail.com
and then our Facebook page is Laney and Logan Moore Racing. So
with the and sign.
yep.
And
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to get to know these drivers a lot more or sponsor them, reach out to them on their social media pages or through their email. Who's all on your racing crew?
so we our dad always he's always there. He's always helped us. He takes us, and our mom and
She's always there, just sitting right by side our dad, and then we got our dog. She always comes racing with us. She loves the racetrack. We have sometimes our cousin comes with us and helps us out. Last season, one of our good buddies came to a big large majority of our races and really helped us out. So we don't have exactly set crew guys every time, but
as well as our big supporter, the owner of Chuck and
yeah,
Larry's Transmission, Tim. Tim's always at our races, and will lend a hand if he needs to. And
we got some pretty great friends that are always willing to come to the racetrack and help us. So
Is there any big races you guys are looking forward to racing coming up this year?
definitely, we plan to hit some good ones. So we haven't made our full schedule yet, but definitely looking forward to racing Knoxville. So and whenever we can, we're definitely going to go up to Houston and Jackson, get some TV time.
Eagle Raceway, and then a bunch more tracks down in Missouri. Like last year, we like to hit up US 36
Valley
Raceway.
Speedway.
Just a ton of tracks. We raced 14 tracks last year in 5 different states. So yeah, we were pretty busy.
What's the best piece of advice you guys have gotten as race car drivers?
Probably just uh, be smart on the racetrack. Sometimes you gotta make good decisions. Like, do you want to save your, you know, sometimes you don't want to stick it in a certain spot so you don't end your night, but you definitely want to be able to load it back up in the trailer every night. But definitely, best advice would be to be smart, and make good choices. No mistakes. Definitely no mistakes.
What kind of advice would you give a new race car driver?
Uh, I would say, work hard, put out the best performances that you can put out. And like I said, work hard, try to get some good people behind you, and just really have a good mentality.
All right. Um, all right. So, what was the transition like for you guys from transitioning to racing four wheelers to sprint cars? Was that transition a pretty hard transition?
Well, we've raced a dirt our whole life, and so it was a little different, but we've been around it. We've been helping our dad since since we were like 6 years old, and our dad's been racing sprint cars, like you said, since 2000. So we've always been used to it, and
Yeah, our family has been around racing forever, especially starting out with our great grandfather that Leonard McCarl. He's our great grandpa, and then a lot of our family race, like our Uncle Terry and cousins and everything. So our whole family's been around racing, and so we've been around it for our whole life. So we've transitioning from four wheelers to sprint cars it wasn't that much of a difference compared to what it may be like for others, because on the quads a lot of the suspension feeling is somewhat similar to the sprint cars, other than you're in a roll cage, then
handlebars.
yeah, right, and steering wheel on the sprint car, then handlebars on the four wheeler. So
So, Beans, your uncle is pretty famous in the racing world.
correct.
You guys got some pretty big shoes to fill there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we definitely look up to our family, and our families had some great uh, racing career and accomplishments. Uh, but so yeah,
So, does your uncle kind of give you some advice as to what to do and what not to do?
he he uh, he helps us out whenever he can. But uh, you know, uh,
we we ask him about a few things, but
our dad definitely helps us out a lot at the racetrack. We'll probably talk to our uncle a lot more once we start. Well, not talk to him, but talk to him at the racetrack and stuff about certain tips and tricks. Like you said, once we see him a lot more at the races, like when we go race Knoxville. So
Okay. Do you guys have racing nicknames?
we
currently, no.
we don't.
We might get some in the future, but right now we
Nothing's caught our eye to get a nickname. Or
Who is your guys' racing hero?
we would say our dad.
yeah, we definitely look up to our dad quite a bit, uh, especially since, like we said, been around helping him forever. And so everybody always asks who our favorite driver is and everything. And it's a popular answer to say your dad, but he's he's definitely
He's a
unique,
good teacher, a good leader, everything.
definitely a good mentor towards us.
All right. Who are some of your guys' friends at the racetrack?
Oh, we have quite a bit of friends. We've met a lot of people through quad racing that have also transitioned to sprint cars. But we have quite a few friends in South Dakota, Minnesota, everywhere in Des Moines. Uh, we have a lot of racetrack friends. It's just wherever we go.
We sometimes you don't always make friends at the racetrack, but we've been pretty good about it and build some pretty good relationships.
What do you guys' friends outside the racing world think of you guys being race car drivers?
Yeah, outside of since racing's pretty much a lot of our life, we don't have too many friends outside of racing, but they definitely think it's pretty crazy. It's
A lot of people don't get it. They just
Yeah.
don't understand what we understand and what we live. And so
our lifestyle's a lot different than most. So yeah.
What do you guys like to do for fun outside the racetrack?
Oh, we own and operate our own lawn and landscape and snow business. We work a lot, and you know,
Other than that, probably hang out with family. Doing. We're pretty much focused on racing a lot. So either uh, something that involves racing or just hanging out with family in general. So
working on
yeah.
stuff.
All right. What types of racing do you guys like to watch on TV?
We just recently got Dirt Vision. I know we've been needing to get it for the past couple years, but we've had it for about a couple months now, and we enjoy watching the Outlaws and ASCS and pretty much a lot of the sprint cars on Dirt Vision.
Okay. All right. So, do you guys have any crazy racing stories you'd like to share with us?
It's a good question. Um, man, really can't think of any off the top of my head. You know, every weekend's crazy if you're at the racetrack, but
We've seen some gnarly stuff, but I'm trying to think.
can't think of anything exactly that I can think off the top of my head. Just because we've been around racing for a really long time, but you know, sometimes uh, others might have even crazier stories. So I'm not
We've
sure.
What's an
we've seen a
awesome
lot of gnarly wrecks.
Yeah.
A lot of gnarly wrecks on quads and sprint cars and stuff, and people
what's an
breaking.
awesome what's an
What's up?
awesome day at the racetrack? What's an awesome day at the racetrack look like for you guys?
Definitely a sunny day, no clouds in sight. Getting to the racetrack, good weather, not super hot or not too darn cold.
Good breakfast, having all our ducks in a row, and having everything go smooth. Winning races and uh, keeping keeping having fun.
Okay. What's an awesome day at the race shop look like for you guys?
Definitely getting a lot of work done. Sometimes you're stuck on certain things for a while, but just having a productive day in the race shop is definitely the best.
What is your guys' favorite parts about being race car drivers?
Uh, I'd say driving race cars.
Definitely just being in the lifestyle of being a race car driver. It's
And
definitely
also working on
unique.
stuff too.
Yeah,
Working on stuff is pretty fun for us.
it's cool to
So do you
go out to the shop and see what you've built so far, and look at all the equipment. Everything's very cool.
so do you guys follow any other type of racing besides sprint cars and quad racing?
Uh, that's mainly what we're fixed on. NASCAR and stuff's cool, but we don't really have too much interest in it at the moment.
Do you guys like watch any IndyCar stuff at all or not?
Uh,
We do not.
not currently. We watch some of the big races like the Indy 500 and the Daytona 500 and some certain
Yeah,
select NASCAR shows, but other than
yeah,
them, here and there, we mainly
yeah.
And
uh,
drag racing's pretty cool
right,
too.
yeah. But
Oh yeah.
other than that, not really.
Okay. All right. So at this portion of the racing show, guys, I like to turn the mic over to my guest. If you have a couple questions you'd like to ask me, you can ask me some questions.
Um, what made you become a race fan?
Just a sport I gravitated towards when I was a kid.
Heck yeah. Do any of your family race or anything?
Nope, nope. Just a sport I've enjoyed.
Heck yeah.
What tracks do you like to visit?
I used to go to Jackson quite a bit. I used to go to Fairmont Raceway quite a bit. I've been to Houston's once. I've been to the Boone Super Nationals, one night of the Super Nationals once. I've been to the Knoxville Nationals 2 years in a row, 98, 99. So yeah, there's a few tracks there.
What tracks do you plan on going to this year?
No idea yet. No
No idea.
idea yet.
Heck yeah. How long have you been doing the show?
Since 2018.
Heck yeah. So you got quite a few years in it. That's awesome.
One of the big names I've had on the racing show, guys, and it was just kind of, huge. Growing up, I followed all sorts of racing, and through growing up and stuff like that, Indianapolis 500 was always a race to watch.
Yeah.
And I growing up, one of my favorite IndyCar drivers is no longer with us, but growing up was Dan Weldon. Weldon could do things behind the wheel of our IndyCar that are just like phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough back when I moved over to YouTube from Facebook Live, I was able to sit down and talk to his boys Oliver and Sebastian, and that was pretty huge to talk to them.
Yeah, that's awesome. IndyCar is definitely high up there in the racing. So
Yeah.
to be able to talk to someone like that, that's pretty awesome.
And then a couple months ago, I was able to sit down with Ernie Irvin.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I also seen you interviewed Kenny Wallace
Yeah.
here a couple months
And
ago as well.
Dan Lasowski.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I enjoy it. I totally enjoy it.
Heck
That was
yeah.
good.
Yep. You guys have any other questions for me?
Um, Do you ever want to get into? I mean, do you ever want to drive a race car?
If having the chance, I would totally like to, but I've never had the chance.
Heck yeah. Um. Hmm.
Where are you from?
Northwest Iowa,
Northwest
clear from the
Iowa.
northern. Yeah.
So we're from Des Moines, so we're from the east side of Des Moines, Iowa.
So we're pretty
Okay.
not too far.
Yeah. In fact, I was down for the '99 Knoxville Nationals. I was down around your guys' area,
Oh
and
yeah.
I stayed in Newton, and
Oh
the
yeah.
hotel we stayed with the hotel Danny Wood was driving at was staying at when he drove the Pepsi car,
Oh, that's
and then
cool.
Bradford we stayed there, and then up the road a ways was Sammy Swindell and stuff like that at
Hmm.
their hotels and stuff like that. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. There's a popular amount of people that stay around the area
Yeah.
during the
Then
Knoxville
Yeah.
National.
And what was really cool, guys, is the last night I was there, '99, Mark Kinzer won the Knoxville Nationals. I was walking through the pit area after the race was over and was just standing in line hoping to talk to Mark Kinzer. Well, his car was all roped off and whatnot. And I was standing in line. Well, this gentleman came over and says to me, he says, "Well, hey, who are you looking to talk to?" I says, "He's looking to talk to Mark. Is he around?" And I says, "Well, he's upstairs doing his interviews after winning the Knoxville Nationals and stuff like that." But the guy says to me, he says, "You can come in here and talk to me and I can give you an autograph." And lo and behold, that was Carl Kinzer.
oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
unexpected.
yeah, that's an iconic moment there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were fast for sure.
Definitely had a
Yep.
great racing career. The whole family.
Yep. Yep. And I've even had a chance to meet Stevie Smith, Brad Doty. Oh yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. Definitely. Oh yeah. Yep.
Do you have
But
any? What's up?
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was
No, no, no. I was waiting for you. I was just gonna say, yeah, go ahead. But go ahead and ask another question if you have one.
uh would you how many more years do you think you'll be doing the show?
Long time, hopefully. Long time.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Long time.
What
Yep.
were you gonna ask?
So, do you guys know a lot about the Indy 500?
We know a little bit. We last year, was it last year or the year before, we went and visited Indianapolis, the track, and it was pretty cool. We
We
seen all the bricks and
and we
everything.
also were able to kiss the bricks.
Which was cool. But yeah, I think it's a pretty awesome place.
Do you know how much those drivers make for winning the Indy 500?
I do not. We do not.
$3.5 million for that race alone.
Wow.
Heck yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I guess I never
pretty
really looked
nuts.
into it.
And then the story goes is whoever wins the Indy 500, like say if you guys were to win it in your time, you also win a brand new car, street legal car on top of that. So you
Oh,
could end up with a brand new Vet or a brand new Camaro on top of it.
yeah, that's
Heck
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Do you know how fast those Indy cars go around
Aren't they like they're like I can't remember. I think they
Pretty quick, obviously.
yeah, what is it?
241 miles an hour.
Wow.
I thought it was in the 200 range. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
fast as heck.
Could you imagine going that fast around a track?
Yeah. Yeah, them sprint cars, they're fast enough, let alone a freaking Indy car.
Yep. Yeah. And what's really cool about Weldon back in the day is he had a really weird collection. I know you guys race car drivers collect things.
Yeah.
And this is one of my favorite stories to share is you race car drivers collect things. He had a really weird collection. Can you kind of guess what his collection was?
Was it race suits?
Oh no. He had an obsession with tennis shoes, and he had over 300 brand new pairs of Pumas in his closet.
pretty impressive.
That's crazy. Yeah, I guess I never really seen as race car drivers having that kind of collection.
And the question I got asked him is, why do you have so many shoes? He says, the minute I get them dirty, I take them off and throw them away and put a brand new pair on.
That ought to get expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And his wife is like, man, she's like, it just drove me nuts because she says, in his closet, his pants and shirts had to be hung a certain way on the hangers, and all the hangers had to be color coded.
That's
That's some good organization.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, and he had a really weird nickname, guys. His nickname was the Lionheart because when he was racing go-karts coming up through the racing world, one of the mechanics come up to him and says, "Do you have a racing nickname?" And he says, "No." He says, "Well, you race with a lot of heart, much like Richard the Lionheart," and that stuck with him.
That's cool.
So, so on the back of his helmet, in some way, shape, or form, he had a mural of Richard the Lionheart incorporated into his racing helmet.
Yeah, that's awesome. A lot of
Yeah,
people have cool helmets, and that's cool that he has had that cool mural on the back of there.
yeah, definitely. So would you guys ever want to race the Indy 500 if given the chance?
Oh, for sure. I'd
Yeah,
definitely take up the
100%.
chance. There's a lot of
Yeah,
money in there, and it'd be a lot of fun going 240 miles an hour
On pavement.
on pavement.
yes, exactly. Well, guys, I would like to thank you guys for being on the racing show with me tonight, talking to us
Yeah.
about your racing careers. You guys have a good night, and I will have you step out, and I will give you I'll call a little bit to thank you for being on the show with me tonight.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, awesome. Thank you
Yep,
for
thank you.
having.
Yep, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Yeah,
You too.
you too.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Laney and Logan Moore on our racing show tonight. Talk to us about their racing careers. Go follow them on their social media platforms or on their email to get to know them better or sponsor them. Or if you'd like to sponsor our racing show or be on our racing show, feel free to call us or text us at 712-209-7128. Or you can email us at jjnolan151@gmail.com. Little racing news update for you guys from yesterday. Congratulations to Anthony Macri for picking up the sprint car win in Florida. So congratulations. And congratulations to Cole Benton for picking up a top 10 finish and his ARCA West Series debut for Jams Racing. But if you'd like to sponsor, you guys have a good night and catch you later on another episode of the Josh Nolan with Throttle Racing Show. #1 on YouTube.